On Tuesday, December 8th, the Cape Cod Reopening Task Force announced the opening of 2 COVID-19 testing sites in Barnstable County. According to the task force, testing locations at the Cape Cod Melody 10 in Hyannis and Barnstable County Fairgrounds in Falmouth will hopefully open the week of December 14th. Additionally, Outer Cape Health Services expects to launch expanded testing at its Provincetown and Wellfleet Health Centers not long after the Hyannis and Falmouth sites commence operations. These testing sites are designed to increase the Cape's PCR testing capacity by offering low-barrier, low-cost tests for symptomatic and asymptomatic individuals. Currently, PCR testing accessibility is disproportionately low in Barnstable County compared to most other counties in the Commonwealth, and local officials consider the increase in testing resources long overdue. In a release from the Reopening Task Force, State Representative Dylan Fernandez asserts, as case numbers continue to increase across the Cape, widespread access to affordable testing continues to be one of the most crucial ways to stop the spread of COVID-19 and protect our communities.
Cape Cod appears to be a testing desert, meaning that we have relatively limited access to testing. We do not have what's colloquially known as a stop the spread site, which is off Cape. The closest you could get to one of those sites would be in New Bedford.
Stop the Spread sites are state-run and provide free, no-questions-asked testing. The Cape Cod Reopening Task Force says the county lacks the resources to provide free PCR testing itself, but, according to Representative Fernandez, PCR tests administered at new regional testing locations will cost significantly less than tests distributed by private entities. Cape testing sites will implement a sliding scale payment model, but local health officials say sites will not turn anyone away for the inability to provide payment. However, according to Barnstable County Department of Health and Environment Director Sean O'Brien, testing sites must operate with an appointment-only policy, and workers will not provide tests to anyone not on the schedule. Even with resource limitations, officials say they're proud to provide additional PCR testing on the Cape, especially after the release of state funding for the program was significantly delayed.
The legislative delegation anticipated that we would need testing here in the region. And so in a supplemental budget that was passed this past summer in July, Representative Dylan Fernandez and Senator Sue Moran, with the support of the entire delegation, was able to secure $550,000 in testing for Barnstable County. And although those dollars were appropriated by the legislature in July, they were not released, those monies were not released for many, many months. And so the first chunk of that money was finally released by the Baker-Polito administration just a week before Thanksgiving, and the second chunk of those dollars were released just a day or two before Thanksgiving. That is really disappointing and not helpful. Had we had those resources in a timely fashion, we could have had low barrier testing up and running much earlier in November.
In addition to the $550,000 secured by Representative Fernandez and Senator Moran, regional testing sites also received funding from Cape Cod Healthcare in Barnstable County. Furthermore, as reported by the Reopening Task Force, Senator Julian Cyr secured another $200,000 in the state budget for fiscal year 2021, which is currently before Governor Baker for review. The task force expects the Cape Cod Melody tent location will offer appointments 7 days per week with a weekly testing capacity of about 2,000 people. Officials anticipate a testing capacity of about 150 people at the Barnstable County Fairgrounds location, with testing taking place 2 or 3 days per week. Both sites will utilize a drive-through system and provide self-administered tests. The increase in PCR testing accessibility arrives at a crucial time for Cape Codders. On Thursday, December 10th, the Cape Cod Reopening Task Force reported the county's COVID-19 test positivity rate at nearly 4%, compared to the statewide positivity rate of 3.73%. On the same day, Senator Cyr reported a 7-day average of 31 cases per 100,000 people in the county. 2 days earlier, on December 8th, Governor Charlie Baker announced a statewide rollback to Step 1 of Phase 3 in the Massachusetts reopening process. The order goes into effect on December 13th and includes additional guidance for restaurants, office spaces, gyms, and other sectors where uninterrupted mask wearing is impossible.